Fear of Change by Benjamin Crems Master. A Master Speaks, Volume 1, page 123. Without doubt, the greatest hindrance to change is the present state of mass consciousness. The masses of humanity are deeply fearful of changes, the outcome of which they cannot foresee. Thus it is today among the community in which the Christ has made his abode. Notwithstanding his presence and inspiring exhortation, relatively small are the numbers who act upon his words and seek to implement changes. Others listen gravely and nod assent, curious only to know who thus so wisely counsels and entreats. Perhaps the fear of deportation, inducing caution, conditions their response. Perhaps they are not typical of the world at large, but seldom it is that one will arise and ask how to proceed to change the consciousness of men. Fear of change is endemic in the human psyche. From earliest times, man has learned to resist and has set up barriers against inevitable change. Childlike, man has clung to the familiar and the safe, whatever the pain involved and however short the term that safety might prevail. Nowhere is this more obvious than in the political field. Millions today live in conditions of abject misery and abuse, exploited by tyrants masquerading as their leaders. Yet the people, for the most part, suffer in silence, fearful that resistance will make the unbearable even worse. Can humanity be persuaded to look on change with a bolder eye, to accept that the ills of the world must be cured or man will perish? For how long and how deeply must men suffer before taking action on their own behalf? Maitreya's task will be to show men that their suffering is unnecessary, that the remedy is in their hands even now, that together they are invincible. He will show that the only barrier to freedom from fear is fear itself, that a new world awaits its creation based on justice and trust. When men see this, they will support his cause and set in motion the changes which will renew the world. Gathered together in common brotherhood, men will demand the freedom and justice which is theirs by right. Thus will it be. Thus will the institutions of the past give way to the new forms, whose nature will allow the expression of the true divinity of men. That not all at first will welcome these changes is true. For many they herald a bitter taste indeed. But gradually men will find that the changes are for the best, and a new buoyancy of spirit will enter their lives. Renewed and refreshed by the lifting of the burden of fear, man will tackle anew the problems of our time and set in motion a steady stream of changes, which, when completed, will bedeck this planet in a raiment of light.